What's up?
What's up guys, I just woke up. Today we're going to be doing a day in the life of a diabetic, so I'm going to go through all of the weird kind of stuff I have to do every day to just kind of stay alive. Yeah, we'll make some jokes along the way. It should be a fun time.
You should clean your room.
Shut up. All I do in the morning is brush my teeth because my first class is very early and I end up taking a nap afterwards anyways. Dude, it's been 2 weeks. You're going to have to put it in my ass.
Again?
We're talking about my dexcom, guys. That's my constant glucose monitor that I cannot put in by myself. Basically, it's Alex's favorite time because he gets...
It's my worst time. Can Foster do it today?
Foster's on here. But yeah, I gotta put this thing in me. And it like tests my blood sugar every 5 minutes so that I don't have to do it myself so much. I know this might look bad, guys, but it's definitely not what you think.
Might look weird that Matt's out here laying down naked on the bed. But you gotta do what you gotta do. He has diabetes.
So as a diabetic, I have a lot of random stuff I have to take in my backpack with me every morning. And since I'm going to university, I have even more stuff. So it's a good thing I got this unit backpack right here. Right here, I got my test kit, which just has my blood sugar test meter right here, my AccuCheck, basically like finger prick, and my test strips. Probably the most important thing if you're diabetic. I actually do injections, I don't have a pump. Since I don't have a pump, I actually take long-acting insulin. So this is my Lantus. This is my pen that I actually keep my insulin vial in. I take that once in the morning and once before bed. This is my Humalog, which is my bolus insulin, or fast-acting or rapid-acting insulin. Finally, the only other diabetic thing I really carry is some vitamin water, or like Coke, or Gatorade or anything like that, just to be able to spike my blood sugar quick. I know a lot of people carry like glucagon and stuff like that, but since I have the Dexcom CGM, I'm not really worried about my blood sugar dropping that low that fast, so it's not really that big of a deal for me. The other stuff that I bring to school is literally just my one book, and then my laptop, because everybody needs one of those in university. You can't forget the calculator. My glasses, because I'm blind as hell. Can't see the board if I'm sitting in the back. And my water bottle, because you boys gotta stay hydrated. This is the part where we just kind of like stumble out of bed and just go straight to class. I don't think either of us are really prepared, but we're gonna rip to Tim's quick, and then we're gonna go straight to econ. So we just stopped at Tim's. I got a turkey bacon club, but instead of just getting it normal on the white bread, I got it on whole wheat. So that makes it like have a lower glycemic index. It doesn't release all the sugar into your blood as fast, so it's kind of like a pro tip for diabetics. Most places like that just have their carbs online, so I know this sandwich has 60 carbs, and I just got a steep tea to go with it. It's already 8:30 when our class is supposed to start, so you know we don't got time to wait around for a parking spot and then walk to the thing and pay, right? So instead of that, we're gonna drive into teacher reserve parking. I only have a plate on my back, and everywhere in BC, people have plates on the front and back. I just back into the teacher parking every single day for free and get the best parking on the campus. The boys are 5 minutes late. It's kind of how we like to do it. Thank you, sir. And there's actually like a back entrance to our lecture hall that we always walk through that takes us straight to the back door. So this is the normal entrance, and then we walk through here. Before my breakfast in class, I need to take 8 units of insulin. And before I can do this, I have to test my blood sugar and properly calibrate my Dexcom in order for me to know what my blood sugar is right now and be able to properly dose myself with insulin for my meal, as I have to take insulin before every meal of the day. Here you can see that when I tested my blood sugar, it was too high, and for that reason, I ended up taking more insulin in order to correct my blood sugars and bring them back down to normal levels. Testing my blood sugars and taking needles in class often garners some weird looks from my peers, and for that reason I usually sit in the back. Now that I've tested my blood sugar, calibrated my Dexcom, and taken my insulin, I'm ready to eat. No ticket. As always, park here for free every day. You can tell who the Berta boys are because we got no plates on the front, and we all park in teacher reserve.
I have crippling depression.
Alright, so now that we're home from class, me and Alex always take a like big nap until 12:05 right now, and then we head back to class because we have math at 12:30, and then after that I eat my lunch. Alright, so I just woke up again. It's 11:30. That means it's time for me to take my morning Lantus. So this is my second injection of the day usually. I just put the needle on like so. Nowadays I'm taking 13 units. Then I just like literally give myself a needle. Pop it in. Sometimes it really hurts. Sometimes it doesn't hurt at all. Kind of depends if you hit like a nerve or not. Over time, like I've gotten a lot better at it. I've been sleeping for a while, so I wasn't checking my blood sugar. But remember how I was talking about the thing that Benjer had to put in my butt? That's actually a constant glucose monitor. So what that does is tell me my blood sugar in real time. And right now, as you can see, my blood sugar is 5.5, going straight across. So that makes it so I don't have to test my blood sugar as much in a day, because testing your blood sugar all the time is just really annoying. And it also gives you a more accurate reading, because this actually tells me my blood sugar every 5 minutes, and that way I can see trends on a graph, which is super helpful. Alright, so we're back in teacher reserved parking. We got math class in like 10 minutes. We literally sit and just write notes the whole class. It's book writing class is what we call it. And like by the end you literally have carpal tunnel.
How's your diabetes?
My diabetes kind of chilling. Right now my blood sugar is like kind of low. 4.4. I'm just gonna have like a little snack once we walk into the class and I'll be chilling.
School's over for today.
What should I eat for lunch?
Probably sushi.
I want sushi, but I also want a burrito, so...
Well, depends on your diabetes, huh? You can't just choose.
Not really. You can kind of choose. I think I'm gonna get a burrito.
Okay.
Okay, well, have fun at work. Bye.
See ya.
Love you. Oh.
See ya.
Shit, awkward. See ya. Alright, so I'm gonna have a shower and a shave so I don't look like such a bum. Now that I've showered and shaved and I'm ready to go, I'm going to go grab a burrito from Mucho Burrito. It's about 90 carbs clean. It's brown rice, so it's not that bad, and then also it has like the actual like wrap. Now we're going to take it home and eat it. Should be about 90 carbs. That means I'm going to end up taking 8 units of insulin. Afterward, my blood sugar will be probably around the same as what it is. I think it'll probably go a little bit lower because I haven't been having like enough snacks today. Back home with my burrito secured, and now I'm going to muck this thing. Like I said, 90 carbs, so 8 units of insulin. A lot of people say that you have to like pre-bolus 15 minutes, and I mean, yes, to a certain extent, pre-bolusing is a good idea. But also, if you're gonna pre-bolus something that is like a carb that releases slowly anyways, it doesn't really make much of a difference. Like, it's one thing if you're having a lot of sugar or foods with like a really high glycemic index, then like, yeah, definitely pre-bolus. Like if you're having like cereal or something for breakfast with milk, then yeah, pre-bolus. But for me, most of the time I mix in like a lot of protein and fat and stuff that you need, so normally I don't pre-bolus, but you know, sometimes I still do, don't get me wrong. Before this meal, I'm gonna test my blood sugar again, so I got my test kit right here. I pop out one of these sensor strips, which are 99 cents a piece, by the way. So look at this thing. Literally, it is so small, insignificant. Now here's another thing. A lot of diabetics, like I always see them just like poking the middle of your finger. Man, that is literally the worst place to poke your finger. You have the most nerve endings right in the middle of your finger. You want to poke your finger on like the side. Like I do that, don't even feel it. Hit that. We're chilling at 5.4. That's kind of money, I'm not gonna lie. Perfect for me to muck a burrito. Now I'm going to take insulin for my second meal of the day, lunch. And like I said, I'm gonna be taking 8 units. And as a diabetic, you always have to rotate locations where you poke yourself, because like you're poking yourself with so many things, right? You're poking yourself with your needles. If you have a pump, you have to change the location of that every 2 days. You're poking yourself with your blood sugar tester. So you always go in a big rotation. For me, I rotate through the front and back of all my fingers, and I go in like a huge circle around my chest too, or my stomach. If you like keep hitting the same spots over and over, eventually you get scar tissue, and either the insulin doesn't work well enough or doesn't work how it's supposed to. It just ends up being a big mess in the future, so something you gotta be really careful about as a diabetic for sure. Alright, so now we're popping out this burrito. And I got some pineapple on this thing. I don't know if that was like on the Mucho menu before, but like, dude, low-key pineapple, kind of unreal on a burrito. There's not a small amount of carbs, 90 carbs, like, That's a lot of food. I'm 19, I weigh 210 pounds, and I'm 6'2", so for me, this is like the average amount of carbs that I'd have in a meal is about 90, 75 to 90 at least. And yeah, my mouth is watering, so I'm gonna mock this thing right now. When you're eating a burrito, it's all about choosing the right place to attack, you know? So I'm thinking this side's wrapped a little better, so we're ripping it from this side. So it's been about an hour since I ate now, and my dexcom is telling me that my blood sugar is 4.6. That's a little too low because my blood sugar is going to drop at 2 hours, because that's just how the Humalog insulin works. It peaks at 2 hours. So I'm making myself a smoothie in kind of like a preemptive strike on my low blood sugar before it happens. This is the protein powder I use, this Diesel New Zealand Whey Isolate. Really good stuff, really easy for your body to digest. Something that's important if you have an autoimmune disorder like myself, so would recommend some of that. And I get the cookies and cream flavor because you can never go wrong with cookies and cream. It kind of goes with whatever you're mixing. Today I'm throwing some blueberries in here. Also, normally I'd have like almond milk or coconut milk, but instead I'm just gonna have some normal milk and then mix in some water, which is kind of gross, but like, gotta do what you gotta do sometimes. The reason I have almond milk or coconut milk or, you know, all those different kinds of like not milks is because one, they're better for you, and two, they don't actually have carbs in them, or they have like a very small amount of carbs. Whereas normal milk actually has like a fair amount of carbs. Like this has 12 carbs in it per 1 cup, so you know, probably should be calculated, but in a case like this where I'm just having a snack, I'm not really too worried about it. There's not even like half a cup in there, so that's like what, not even 6 carbs. Not a big deal. The banana's gonna end up being around 30 carbs, but bananas have actually a very low glycemic index, meaning the sugar will release slowly into my blood. So overall, after I eat this probably in about an hour, it's probably just gonna level my blood sugar off pretty decently instead of having me have that dropping sensation with my insulin peaking in that 2-hour time frame. So yeah, I'm gonna blend this bad boy up, and yeah, it should be pretty good.
I just know what I know. I know. If you run up on that shit, boy.
A little life hack if you're diabetic. I remember when I was newly diagnosed, I was always like super hungry, and I was like, man, like I can't eat enough in these meals. A life hack for me was to make massive smoothies, put the same amount of other ingredients that you normally put in, but just put in like a ton of ice, and then you can match that extra amount of ice with an extra amount of like whatever type of milk that you're using, or water even, and then you end up filling your stomach and not eating any more carbs, and overall just hydrating yourself better. So pretty good system, would recommend if you find yourself hungry all the time. Because I know a lot of my friends who are diabetic find themselves that way as well, and that's what I always say to do. Another thing that I have to do fairly often is to empty out my used needles into the sharps container. You gotta be careful not to like knock them on anything, because like this like part around it is like a safety casing, this like actual needle shaped part. The actual needle is inside there. It's like super small, right? But you know, it's there. And this can just be screwed off like that. Sometimes these like fall out of this, because all it is a friction fit, and you'll like reach in your bag and just like stick this whole thing through your finger. It's happened to me so many times. So you gotta be careful. Take this. If you can't find this, just drop it right in the sharps bin. Doesn't matter. Don't have to deal with it again anyways. Just drop all my needles in there, and I replace them in my case with more. Always got needles on deck. Also, I forgot to mention, this is like a massive sharps container, and this is where I put all like my needles and kind of like waste that you have to get rid of, biohazard type stuff. These, they literally just give you for free at Shoppers Drug Mart. Alright, so I've decided that I'm having breakfast for dinner today. So we're gonna make what I like to call mush. Absolutely delicious, not gonna lie. First thing you're gonna wanna do is measure out your amount of hash browns. So we got 2 cups of hash browns here. Now we whip on the stove. Pop some of that olive oil. Olive oil is like pretty good for you. It's a good fat. Crack a couple brown eggs. Holy shit, I clapped that one. That was a little too hard. I could definitely not be like a cooking channel because this shit is so difficult to me. For some reason, I cannot focus on 2 things at once when I'm cooking. This is the hardest part of the video so far, to just talk right now. Okay, so we got our eggs here now. What you're gonna wanna do is add a little bit of that milk in there. And you know, I just went to the store and picked up some more Silk almond milk, as I was talking about earlier. Unsweetened vanilla. Delicious. Take the eggs, just wanna grab a fork here. You know, whisk them up. Sometimes if you put a little bit too much of the milk in, you can like smell the vanilla in your mush, like while it's cooking. It's kind of nice, I'm not gonna lie. It makes the mush a little too runny for me, and I like my mush to be kind of sticky. So we got our hash browns here, we got our egg mush here. Basically, we're just gonna cook these until they're nice and crispy, and then dump this over top, and it's gonna be epic. Found some bologna in the fridge, and you already know I couldn't help myself, so we're throwing some bologna into the mush. Gonna make it kind of stinky, but you know what? That's okay. My mush is like just about ready now. They're real hot.
Ah.
This is kind of like the sick part. I'm not gonna lie. Flip it around, make sure it doesn't burn on you, boy. Mush doesn't really taste good. I usually just put a ton of salsa on it, or like guacamole, but mush fills your stomach. Alright, so the mush is ready, and I also got some potato salad here. This is sauerkraut, because sauerkraut's good for you. For this meal, I'm going to take 8 units of Humalog again, because the hash browns are 60 carbs, and this is 30 carbs, so it adds up to be 90. Take 8 units. This probably looks disgusting to most people, but I really like it because I'm weird. We don't want to study too hard for math, so Alex is calculating how hard we have to study by getting our average right now.
Yeah, well, what does that equal to?
Spending more time on this than actual homework. Thanks everybody for watching. This has been a day in the life of a type 1 diabetic. This is just the normal stuff that I have to do every day in my life. If you or someone you know is diabetic, please send this video to them, share it. There are a lot of tips in here that I wish I knew when I first got diagnosed. I remember when I first got diagnosed, I thought my life was going to be way harder, and it was, but you know, as you get used to it, as you learn more about the disease, you get better at it, it gets easier every day, and it's all about just keeping a positive mindset. Thanks again everybody for watching. Like and subscribe. If you want to see more videos like this, let me know. I can make a new video about being a diabetic once I get my pump, because right now I'm doing injections, as you saw. Subscribe if you like this video. I got a lot of vlogs on my channel that are very similar, a little more fast-paced and funny, that you guys will probably enjoy. Thanks again for watching, and have a good day, everybody.